What's up, everybody? It's your boy Omega from Omega's Gaming here in lovely Vardenfell, which really isn't that lovely. It's kind of fucking depressing with vagina flowers, fucking evil looking octopusy flowers. Gross. All right, today what I'm bringing you is a PvP build. Um, I play PvP quite often, and mostly it is on the Magic DK. And one of the things that pisses me off the most is everybody says, you got to play Magic DK in heavy armor to be viable, which is not true at all, unless you're a scrub nub. Um, I play in all light armor, so it is what it is. Uh, we'll start off with armor. Let's go ahead and get into the armor. Wearing 5 Sun, uh, all impen, all on the body. I'm wearing Grothar. Grothar did have, its big nerf in the last patch or two, but it's just that little bit of extra damage. Uh, it never hurts. You know what I mean? Just that little bit of extra. Plus, it gives you max magicka, and there's nothing wrong with that. My other 5 piece is Burning Spellweave. I have the 3 rings and a necklace, 2 rings and necklace, all spell damage. And then I have a in-pen shield and a sharpened sword. And on my back bar, I run Restoration Staff. Food-wise, I just use a normal max magicka and health, trying to get as much max magicka as I can. Stats, 42, 18, 10. Regen doesn't matter because you're a fucking DK. 56.7 crit, which is pretty good. Anything above 50 is fine. 2-1-1-2 unbuffed spell damage. And I'm running the Thief Mundus Stone. Your health goes up to 23, almost 24k, so it's plenty of health. Buffed, I'm at 23, about 23 spell, about 17 physical, which is plenty. My crit resist is 1741, which is pretty good. I could get it a lot higher if I actually spent points into it, but I haven't put any points into crit resist because honestly, that's plenty. Buffed up, I'm at 2534. Now that doesn't include the Burning Spellweave or the spell damage enchant that I have on my weapon. Let's see if we can get that to go off real quick, because that would be nice. Not yet. There's 3150, not including the 300, so about 3500 spell damage. Really strong. I mean, you're looking at some real hard whips on that bad boy. Let's go into some skills. My front bar, I'm running Invasion, Burning Embers, Flame Lash, Fossilize, Inner Light for the crit and more magic, and then the Godsend for DK is Shooting Star. If you are not running Shooting Star in PvP, you are playing the DK wrong. Straight up. You're fucking retarded. You have to have this. This is your execute when you're doing a 1vx and you need to drop someone fast as shit. That is how you do it right there. Back bar. Proxy Debt. I don't use it that often. It's just in case I get ganged up on. This is a real flex spot. I mean, you can flex whatever you want in here. I'm still using Healing Ward. You can always come in here and use like Coagulating Blood or something else. Or Talons, or if you want more damage. But honestly, like this gives you some real good survivability, and I'm just a fan. Fire Scales, you have to have Dragon Fire Scales. Super important. Volatile Armor. I just use it because it does a little spray, and it pulls enemies out of stealth. It's a little bit of damage, you know what I mean? And it returns some magic damage to attackers. And then, of course, your Molten Armaments for the back bar. For my ultimate, I use Ferocious Leap for 2 reasons. One, it does pretty decent damage, and it gives you a shield, obviously, but also if you're waiting on Meteor to come up, which is 200 ultimate, but this bad boy is up and you get low, this does pretty good damage. I mean, if someone's low, you could kill him with this. You're also going to get a shield, 121% of your max health for 6 seconds, and that gives you the time to hit this, pop that, and then you'll be at full health again to keep you in the fight. So this is kind of like my oh shit one. I won't even use an ultimate until this bad boy pops up unless I'm in some serious trouble. This will break you. This will break you out of some dangerous situations. My front bar, I like running invasion. Um, this works really well with the off balance for Flame Lash, because if you look, Flame Lash does way more damage and gives you a huge heal. So as soon as you knock them down, you're getting a harder hit and a heal, and this comes in handy when you're really low. Knock them down, basically heal to full health. Especially if you're running this as well. Burning Embers is a huge dot. I mean, this just melts their health, and then you get healed, and you can actually double click this and get the heal instantly. Um, Sorry, there's a lot of healing on a DK that people just don't realize. Fossilize is the end all be all. Fossilize plus shooting star equals win. And the way that you have to do this is you cast your shooting star. When you cast it, the little dots will go around the bad guy. Okay, not that difficult. Then you're gonna cast your fossilize. While they're trying to break out of fossilize, Meteor is going to strike them right in the asshole, and they're not going to be able to block it. They're going to take all of that damage. And I've had this hit for like 24k in PvP, and just insta kill somebody. And if you think about it, you've got this dot that's burning on him as well. While this is coming down and you have him fossilized, you can start whipping the shit out of them. You know what I mean? So they're going to take this damage, this dot, and then maybe a whip. I mean, they're fucking done. That person is gone. It's very rare that somebody survives this. I mean, it's so much damage. You're going to want all of your DK passives. If you haven't read through the DK passives, I highly recommend that you do. They're amazing. One-handed shield. You don't need all of them. I mean, I'm not really bashing or anything like that. Mostly I'm trying to get invasion for the most part. Light armor, you want all of your stuff. I mean, Dampen Magic, the reason I have this on here is because it's a bigger shield, and if I wanted to put Dampen Magic instead of Proxy Debt, this is what I flex, because I get a 20k shield. So it's going to drop down to 10k in PvP, but you drop a 10k shield, plus this ward if you're low health, it gets you like a 30k shield, and then you instantly heal. So, I mean, it really helps keeping you alive. Medium heavy, I don't put any of that stuff on there. Nothing here. Fighter's Guild I have all the way up because Dawnbreaker still kind of works, but I like getting my shield and other things better. There's no need for it. Mage's Guild, gotta have Mage's Guild 10. So important to have Mage's Guild 10. And one of the other things I forgot to mention, once you have Mage's Guild 10, while your meteor is coming down, if you pop Inner Light, because it works off Inner Light now, you will proc this Might of the Guild passive, and it will give you 20% more damage for 5 seconds. So, Meteor, Fossilize, they're frozen, pop this, this will hit, and probably one-shot them. It's a tricky combo to hit, but if you can get this down, one person that you're fighting is done, and then you can move on to the next one. Not a big deal. Potion-wise, I have Tri-Stat potions on this guy, especially for PvP. I have a decent amount of stam for dodge rolling, and because I use invasion, so I use Tri-Stats. Alliance War, like I said, you have the Proxy Debt. You can use, put some of those bad boys in there if you want. I don't have any points in here. I probably should put them in there. Race, I'm a Dark Elf. Environmental Lava, I don't give a shit about that. Gives you max Magicka and max Stam, which helps for, obviously, your damage and for PvP, because you need Stam for Break Free and all of that. You get more max Magicka, Flame Resistance, which is nice, because a lot of people use Destro Staff, so it kind of drops that a little bit. And here's the kicker: it increases your flame damage by 7%, and your frost and shock by 2, which you don't use any of that, but you do use all flame damage. So that's 7% more damage that you're going to get out of this. Dark Elf is the best for DK, not just for PvP, but for PvE too, because when you're using your Destro staff and you're dropping your wall of elements and things like that, that's that flame damage. It's all getting buffed by 7%. So you just automatically do 7% more damage as a Dark Elf. It's a fantastic class that I think is really underrated. All right, so CP. Go ahead and start in the blue tree. We're still trying to stay with the new way that CP works, where if it's 12.5, it's 12. If it's 12.95, it's still 12. Everything rounds down to a whole number. So I got 51 in Elfborn, gives me 19 even. Good for my healing and my crits since we're running a decent amount of crit. It's 12% more Flame, Frost, and Shock damage on top of the 7 that I already get. 19% done with your direct damage. Your direct damage abilities, I believe dots count, but I know that the whip does. So this is going to buff your whip by about 19%. You're a DK, you're using dots, 19% more on your dots. That's going to buff all the dots that you decide to put on your character. I only have 6 into my resistances. I mean, you put a couple more in here, you could easily have over 2k resistances, which is, for crit resistance, just 2k is too much. The 1750 that I have is plenty. This is going to reduce damage from your direct damage attacks. There's a lot of things that are direct damage now, so that's a big one. Make sure you put points in there. Same thing, 50-50 in here. I toss a couple into thick skin just for the dots, because almost every class has a decent amount of dots in them. Bastion, because I am using the healing ward and then sometimes dampen magic. This is just, it keeps you alive longer. There's no reason why not to have this. Going into the green tree, I do have 8 in Decipher. I'm going to continue. I think I have one more point that I can put in here, but you know, for you to do a light and heavy attack and they lose 2% of their recovery in a recovery-based PvP now, this would be fantastic. I have quite a bit into tenacity and stuff, and just like I do with my tanks, I'm always heavy attacking. I heavy attack weave and light attack weave in between everything that I do. So this helps my sustain in PvP, which is also one of the reasons I run a resto on the back bars, because you can gain so much magicka back now from that resto. I mean, like 2 full restos, I'm back at 40k. I mean, it's so crazy. I throw a little bit into here just for why not? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I do throw some into tumbling so I can do the reduce cost of dodge roll, because I will dodge roll attacks, and I want to save my stam for invasion. I should have another point in here to make it 19 even, because the rest of those points are wasted, so that's probably where my next point's going to go, so I don't waste that. So it's got good damage, good survivability. You can get your magic back really quick. When it comes to your combos, I mean, I'm always on my back bar buffing up, you know, making sure everything is always up in case I get attacked. First thing you're going to do, you're going to jump in, drop your dot, and then just start whipping the shit out of them. You know what I mean? That was a 20k whip. So I mean, it's viable for you to hit, you know, and all my stuff didn't even proc. I mean, it's viable for you to hit. I think I've hit like a 13k whip in PvP, and people who use like light and medium armor. Heavy armor, it's more like 6-7k, but that's still really good for light armor. You know, got the heavy attacks in. There's a 21k whip. You know, and I mean, you're taking those little, you know, 1 to 2k hits, but then you're getting those 10s. So I mean, 3 or 4 hits, and I mean they're done. I mean, this thing hits hard, and your resistances aren't that bad. I mean, it's a really good build. I've done a lot with the DK, so I'll probably do some PvP videos like showing it in action. Go in there and smack up on some people a little bit. But if you guys like this build video, you know, leave some comments below. Subscribe. I'm gonna start doing a lot of videos. I did a crown crate opening for the new Morrowind crown crates. If you guys want to check that out, I'm thinking about doing my stamina Nightblade next. I have a very, very, very strong poison Nightblade that is primarily bow, and it melts. So if that's something that you guys like to see, just let me know. Comment, subscribe. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. Have a good day.